Okay, hello everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the eCom Sellers 90-day listing challenge. We're on the tail end of this challenge. We have one more day after this. So this is week 12, and then we have week 13 coming up. And that's it. And we are done. But my prayer, my hope, my wish for all of you is that you actually have made a dent in your business, that you have seen a little spike in sales, and or you've seen some improvement in your own personal administrative task in your business, like creating the listings and going through and reviewing and checking to see if you have sales, that you're starting to build significant momentum around the habits that are actually going to make you money. So that's my prayer, my wish for you and your business part of this journey. So we have one more week. And each week for the last, I think, 8 weeks, we've been talking about listing optimization tips for different platforms. So today's platform is Poshmark. So for those people that are selling on Poshmark, it is similar in some ways to Mercari. It's also similar in some ways to Facebook Marketplace, but it is also different because it is a social sharing, social selling platform. So you're encouraged to do a few different things, and we're not going to get into all of the weeds about Poshmark. So if you're already a seller on Poshmark, then you know some of the things that they like you to do, like parties and things like that. But if you're not, here's some tips on just focusing on the listing. So, and you can always, if you're part of eCom Sales Academy, you can always go through, and we've done a detailed overview of Poshmark and the things you need to do to be successful on that platform. It does also include listings, but it goes through all of the other things, like establishing your account and things you can sell and can't sell on Poshmark and things like that. So we're going to start with the first one, and this is pretty standard. I will tell you, almost on every single platform, the biggest components of your listing is the title, the description, the photos, and those are going to be the top three. And then, of course, your price matters and your shipping matters, but the top three are always your title, your description, your photos. And I would say of the three, because people are visual buyers in most cases, the photo, I would think, is probably the number one. They may see what they're looking for before they fully read the title. The title matters because it's going to help with your search. And the description matters because you want to sell exactly what it is and not get yourself in trouble. So the first thing, this comes directly from one of Poshmark's blogs. I think it's like an older blog from 2021. So you'll notice references to I and me and all this other stuff throughout it. But this is, again, directly from them. So the one thing that they start with is, number one thing is they feel like you need to have a good title. I do agree that a title is important. Having a good title on any of these platforms is extremely important. So it should be detailed and descriptive. And it is the first thing that's going to help your listing come up in the search engines. That matters on Poshmark. That matters on every other platform too. So your title is critical. Unlike some of the other platforms, like, you're not going to do 125 word or 125 character title. You're going to do a shorter title, but you do want to indicate what it is. And the one thing that they don't recommend is don't stuff the title with keywords. So make sure you're not keyword stuffing that title so you don't get yourself, into trouble, or that it creates challenges for your item to come up correctly in the search. Okay. So keep that in mind with your Poshmark listing titles, and also on any other platform. Number two is the photos. Photos are always going to be important. So like I said, of the three, especially in this time, this day and age, like when I first started, the most important thing was the title when I first started. But I feel like the image has to be on point. It has to be taken in a clear, lit, bright environment. You need to make sure that you can clearly see what it is, so you don't have to do the pinchy fingers on your phone, because again, 64% or 62%, one of the two numbers, most of the buyers, most people, 62 or 64%, are buying from their mobile device. And that includes, their iPads, their Kindles, their Surfaces, whatever. Those are all mobile ready mobile devices. So you want to make sure that your images are very, very clear and you take good pictures. Don't upload bad photos. Don't upload grainy photos. If you look at it and you can't really tell what it is, if you have kids in the house, or your spouse or your friends or whatever, if they can't tell what it is, then you need to take a new picture. You got to do a better job. Okay. So take good pictures, make sure they're clear. Do the well-lit room is going to help you make sure that they take up the full image, because there's nothing like taking a picture and you have all of this background. You see more background than you do the item. The item needs to encompass the entire range up to the edges of the photo frame. Okay. So if it's a good photo, you'll make a good impression. If it's not a good photo, you will not make a good impression when you're adding it to any of your listings, including, your Poshmark store, your Poshmark listing. And make sure that you also take pictures of anything that is flawed with the item. On Poshmark, there's a lot of name brand stuff that's sold, or more expensive things that might be sold. And so because of that, if there's a tear, if there's a rip, if there's something missing, one of the, I don't know, the little rhinestones fell out or whatever, make sure you take all the pictures. The bottom soles of the shoes. It doesn't have to be the first photo. The first photo needs to be the best photo. Okay. So make sure the first photo is the best photo, but make sure you're taking pictures of everything, so that way, when that item is received by the customer, it is exactly what it is that they saw on the phone, and take really good pictures and they're clear. The next is your description box. You want to make sure you include as much as possible in the description. Again, who it's for is also helpful. So when we talk about who it's for, if it's great for women, great for men, kids, whatever, make sure that you indicate that. If a brand name that matters, then make sure you include that as well. Color and size, style, all of that stuff. Include any measurements, and measurements are extremely important when selling things online, especially gently used or previously owned items. So make sure you have the measurements, especially for clothes and things like that. Shoes, purses, scarves, whatever, jewelry. Just make sure you have as much of the detail as possible. And also, again, don't overlook other things that people might be searching for this thing by, or might use it for. So there may be intended use words that you can also include in the description, or common use, or other types of words that are going to help this item be found. And if it's one of those things that's really weird, where it's commonly misspelled, you may also want to put that at the bottom of the description, the commonly misspelled way that this item is pulled up. So the way you can figure that out is you can go to Google Trends and see if, most people that's looking for this also type it this way. And if they do, include that in your listing description. I have no idea what's going on with me, but anyway, include that in your description, so that way it's easily found. Okay. The next one is to make sure that you fill in everything in the listing. Make sure that you fill in all of the details for the category, the subcategory, size, if it's applicable. Details need to be filled in correctly in order for you to get the right shopper in front of your item. Okay. And it says to include 3 style tags in your listing. Okay. You can choose from preloaded tags that Poshmark offers, or you can type your own, but you need to make sure that you also include, use the 3 style tags as well when you're creating a listing on Poshmark. And then last but not least, this is where the person that wrote the blog was talking about but in any case, you can choose to discount shipping. Now, I will tell you, I believe strongly that there is a major shift happening. I talked about it in the eCom Sellers blog. podcast, that there's a shift in this free shipping or discounted shipping, that for many years, people have listed things with free shipping. But with the rising cost of shipping, and of course, associated with that, with materials and transportation and things like that, I think you're going to continue to see more items listed for the price and shipping as a separate line item. Now, you do have shipping within Poshmark, and some people still choose to incorporate shipping into the price. So you can decide how you want to work out discounted shipping. But again, shipping costs are going to continue to rise. I think now Mercari's shipping fees are almost equivalent to Poshmark. Mercari used to be a little bit cheaper, and now they're almost neck and neck when it comes to comparing the shipping costs. So in any case, don't expect shipping to go down. If there's anything you can do to help ship this more efficiently and cheaper, do what you can to help the customer, so that way they have the cost is manageable. And again, within Poshmark, you have delivered features so that you can choose or let it default in the shipping. But you do have, on most platforms, you have the ability to edit that. So, all right. So with that being said, I'm gonna unmute everybody. How are you in your journey? I cannot get out of this. There we go. So how are you in your journey when it comes to your listings? Are you meeting the mark? Are you going to be close when we have our next session, week 13, next week? Or are you, not going to make it, but you've built a better, stronger habit of consistency? Which one do you feel like you're going to hit?
Hey, it's Robin here. I'm going to be close.
Okay, we celebrate that.
I was at 177 last week. I'm at 197 this week so far. And a couple more days this week. My goal was 250. So I said I would be happy if I got 200. So I'm thinking I'll definitely be over 200. May not be at 250, but I should be over 200. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. So have you started to gradually see an increase in your sales?
Yes, I've sold. As I've been putting more items up, it seems like once I got more items up, I started getting more sales. So I guess maybe I didn't have enough items in there for people. So
the other thing is, again, you're giving the platforms what they want, which is they want to see consistency. They want to see listings going up on a regular basis, and when they do that, they showcase, or your listing will get more views because the algorithm is like, oh, this is a person that's a serious seller, and oh, this is a new item. Let me show it to everybody. This seller's been getting sales, so let me show this other item that this seller just put up. It happens on every platform.
Okay, cool. So okay, that's good. Well, I'm happy about that. I am happy about that. I have that, and I noticed some items I can list really quick. Some other items I'm still taking a little longer than I would like, but a majority of the items I'm getting better, especially since I'm selling similar items, so the listing part is getting much easier. And I know, like, when I first started, it was taking me like 30 minutes to do a listing. I'm down to about 15, and I want to go lower than that.
Well, I celebrate that. That's really good that you got it down to half the amount of time.
Yeah, I'm down.
Go ahead.
So no, I'm excited because I'm like, yo, I was like, wait a minute, I'm done already? And I looked at the time, I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, who's doing this listing so we can do it the next 4 listings so we can stay around this. I'm excited. I mean, it took me a while, but I was like, okay, I'll deal with being 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do another one of these 90-day challenges and I'll be even lower than that.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I would be so excited for you. The other thing is, as you continue to sell, start working on a niche that you want to follow or that you think you want to sell in. Start narrowing it down, because what will happen is your listings, the time that you spend creating listings, will continue to get faster and faster because you have the baseline information for the keywords and the titles. You have some of that information either stored in your brain or stored in other listings because you're selling things in the same niche. So I'm going to use an example. Like, let's say your thing is selling jeans. So if your thing is selling jeans, you kind of will have an idea of the brand. You'll have the terminology down for what people are looking for when it comes to jeans and the types of jeans, whether it's bootleg or, straight leg or whatever it happens to be. You'll have all of that terminology down very quickly. You'll be able to mention things like stonewashed or, whitewashed or, whatever it happens to be. And you'll get faster at creating listings for jeans because you'll be able to, in some cases, just create a template for it. But the other thing, and then just use it to edit it so that way all you do is just upload your photos, edit the text, submit, and then upload your photos, edit the text, submit, because you got a template. So
Okay.
think about that long-term bigger picture,
Hmm.
start narrowing slowly over time.
Hmm.
You want to focus. Maybe you want to focus on baby clothes. Maybe you want to focus on pet supplies. Maybe you want to focus on gardening, and then just go after that niche and that focused area and try to cover all things gardening or cover all things pets, and maybe you
Hmm.
focus on dogs. And the more you do that, the more you'll have a chance to create listings faster and get more listings up.
Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Yay. You doing? How are you doing? I know you had a busy week.
I am doing okay. This week and next week, like they're crazy because this was tax time. And so I just went ahead and, filed an extension. I was like, okay, I still have to submit taxes. And so it's just a lot going on with the boys. I am not where I want my numbers to be, but my son is still excited and motivated about the car. So we
Hmm.
are, we're going to continue to list together and get to that goal number. Once we hit our goal number, we'll get a car. Then I'll post it and share and say, hey, my son
I'll
got
be excited. Yeah. Yeah. One of my taxes I did. The other one I did an extension. So
yeah.
some things I still have to do, personal taxes, still dealing with, everything with the house and family and stuff like that. And then I had the business taxes. So one I did, and when I was like, extension, I can't right now. So one was enough. And I said, I'll do the other one. I put extension on the other one. I was like, okay, we'll get that done. And then the issues I've been having, it seems like every week there's a new issue in the house. But I am blessed and thankful and grateful for the house.
Yeah.
So and I know, honestly thinking, I know the house hasn't had the tender lover care that it needed, you know. So I think once I get all the major things done and start giving it some love, I won't have so many house issues. But I was thinking about it like, when was the last time I got a roof? When was the last time we had this done?
At some point, you'll have an almost new house, which is my plan over the next 5 years is to, I told my brother my goal was to tackle 2 rooms a year or 2 big items a year. So, do, 2 rooms, like maybe work on the kitchen and the bathroom, and then work on a bedroom, another bedroom,
Yep.
and then eventually get to the fence and and the roof and all of that other stuff, so that way when my other son graduates, because he can continue into school to age 21,
Okay.
that I will be able to move on and this will just be a rental. And at that point, the house will be paid off anyway. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So, if the Lord say the same and we all live that long, that's the plan.
Yep. That's the plan. I got you. That's the plan. Yeah, that's what I've been doing here. The big things that needed to be done that hadn't been done. And once I get all those done, then I'm doing like you. I'm gonna pick a room and start with that room and pick this room and just keep going from there. But I had some big outside stuff, like you said, fences, roofs,
Yeah.
water leak, water damage, that kind of stuff.
We'll be able to come back and talk about this later and say we used our e-commerce money to do these things. So
I
that's
have
part.
I haven't. That's what's so funny. My homeboy's like, my friend who's helping with the construction and stuff. I said, I don't have a payment this week, but let's send a little prayer out. I'll have a payment for you next week to get something sold. A couple of. I said, you must have prayed good. I got 3 more items sold this week, so you're gonna definitely get a payment next week.
That's the thing. And it's a wonderful thing, ain't it?
It is.
It is. Well, I am going to let you go. I'm excited about your progress, and everybody else who may be listening to the replay, I'm excited about your progress as well. I'm hoping to see you all in the final session on the 25th. If not, just know that I am rooting for your success. And if this workshop has been a blessing to you, definitely share your feedback. Send me an email. I would love to hear from you. And if there's anything that I can do, definitely don't forget that you can schedule a free coaching session.
Okay,
So
I'll definitely do that. How long do we have access to the recordings?
you have lifetime access to the recording.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You have lifetime access. Everything I do, as long as the domain is renewed, you have lifetime access to it. Not that it's not going to not be renewed. I think I renew the domains every like 3 years at a time. So they're,
Yeah,
3 year.
cool.
So I don't have to pay for them for 3 years.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you
All
have
right.
a blessed one, and I'm going to get back to my business and working with my son.
All right, and we'll talk soon. See you next week.
All right. See you next week. Have a
Okay.
great one, everybody.